in the whores, demons trying to trap you with semen, their eyes gleaming. You better spit it out like Willie Beeman. This is spiritual war. Yeah, I'm ducking all the witches in the whores, demons trying to trap you with semen, their eyes gleaming. You better spit it out like Willie Beeman. Came back with vengeance. Yeah, you can hear the sound from my engine. Back to the business. I've been trying to eat healthy and I'm working on my fitness. Eased up with the tension, fulfilling my vision. God is.
Yo, peace and blessings. Coming back with another video. Today, we're going to dive in deep again, just like the last video. Last video we was talking about you could spot hurt people from a mile away. Today, we're going to talk about when keeping it real goes wrong. When keeping it real goes wrong. And, you know, this could be on many different levels. It doesn't pertain to any one area, one specific thing. It can go into many different things. And of course, like always, I got my little notes. So I don't be just losing the topic and start rambling and not making sense. But yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about is what I seen in my upbringing in my community. I don't know about anybody else's community, but in my community, in my culture, dealing with my race and stuff like that. And one of the things I want to start with was community. It's always been a habit and a bad teaching about keeping it real in my culture and then family and in my community and different things with my race. That has gotten us in a lot of trouble with the keeping it real. You know, take an example. You could be walking down the street. You could be at an event. You could be anywhere, a place of business. And you're always going to run into one ignorant person or somebody that's having a bad day or just a hothead. And you might be in the right. That person might be in the wrong. But say if they bump you or something like that, and they look at you like you wrong, like excuse you, and they looking at you saying that. And in my community, in my culture, it's taught that, you know, you're supposed to hit back, you're supposed to strike back, you're supposed to, you know, retaliate or stand your ground. And yes, if somebody is coming to do harm to you, yes, stand your ground, protect yourself. That's different. But in cases like this, you gotta always think. Because a lot of people have died. A lot of people have got killed. A lot of people have got into deeper trouble in situations like this that started off very small and could have been avoided and got into bigger trouble or a bigger problem, a bigger issue that wasn't needed. Like I said, that person might look at you like excuse you and they in the wrong. And if you be like, nah, I gotta keep it real, I can't let them play me because of your ego, and you feel like if you walk away, you soft. Or if you don't say nothing, you know, you let the person back you down, you let them play you in front of everybody. And you saying something back or even challenging them, you never know what that person could have on them. You never know what type of stuff is going on in their head where they could just explode and just pull out a gun, pull out a knife, you know, anything. Y'all could be fighting and you get into a fight and you push the person down so hard they hit their head on the ground, start leaking, and start having a seizure, something crazy, or they die, and now you facing jail time over something that could have been avoided. You know, things like that can happen. And like I said, it's different if somebody coming up to you and they trying to harm you. Yes, you got to protect yourself. But in situations like that, sometimes you got to really get out that mindset of keeping it real. Sun got my eye. You got to get out that mindset. Dang. Sun really got my eye good. But you got to get out that mindset of keeping it real all the time when it comes to that, because what is keeping it real? You know, when we really look at that definition of how my race and my culture defined it, that has gotten us in trouble more than it has gotten us success. Especially in those small situations like that, it could have been avoided. And sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes you have to think deeper and hold yourself back. And yes, when you walk away, yes, you're gonna be like, there's times where I might have been in a situation, I might have didn't say something to somebody or didn't retaliate back right away because they said something or did something. And I was like, damn, I should have said this or I should have did that, because it's gonna replay in your head over and over and over. And you're gonna feel like you're soft. You're gonna feel like you back down. But trust and believe, more than likely, that was the smartest decision to do. Because like I said, in those cases, your life could have been saved. You could have avoided something way deeper and way worse if you would have took that. If you would have took that bait to react. And that's one of the things we struggle when it comes to keeping it real. Another area where I feel like the keeping it real goes wrong is with in the music area. And there was a time where, especially in hip hop and in rap, there were conscious rappers and people, and at one time it was all conscious, with a message. And then as time progressed, there was other people that talked about other stuff, street stuff, poverty, different things, then it got to violence, but it still was a good balance of people that still were trying to put those messages out. But it has got to a point now, and even a few years back, and a couple decades back, where the artists feel like for them to keep it real, they have to relate to the streets. You hear a lot of artists say that, the streets got me. It don't matter about this, or the streets love my music, the streets got me. And that happens a lot in my race and my culture with the artists we have that are popular. We feel like, I got to keep it real with the streets, and the streets got me. I can't let the streets down. And it's like, what is the streets? What is keeping it real with the streets? Because a lot of the music, and don't get me wrong, I listen to some of not today's songs, a lot of these songs I can't get into, but some of the other artists through the years that I do know, some of these songs I listen to in certain situations when I'm working out, or if I'm hanging around people and they got it on. But when I listen to, if it was to come on and I hear it by myself, I listen to the lyrics and I'm like, it just feel like bombs going off on the song. Like I just hear the amount of cursing and I'm effing his girl and I F this girl and I kill this dude and I got the gun on me and we in the hood, and it's like, and that joint just sounds so crazy. Where it's like, damn, why do we feel we have to promote that just to still be popular? Why do we feel? And it's different if you're telling a story and a message with it all. But a lot of times it's just these people saying that because they know that's what the streets want to hear. They know that's what people want to hear. And a lot of the times these artists not doing that or not living that way. They rich, but they get money. Or why do we feel like we have to promote the drugs and this and the pill pop and other stuff? And these artists not doing that. But the artists will come out and tell you themselves. I'm just saying those things because I know it's what people want to hear. Like we have gotten to a point where to be a role model is looked down upon. Like you'll hear a lot of artists say that, or not even just artists. It could be athletes. It could be anybody. It doesn't just have to be in music. It could be any industry, and especially with my people, my culture, my race. We got to a point where that's looked down upon. Where it's like, I'm not in this to be a role model. I just want to play ball. I just want to play baseball. I just want to play football. I just want to rap. I just want to do whatever it is. And it's like, that's looked down upon, where we had people back years before doing these different things in these different industries, and they were vocal. That mattered because there were serious issues that were happening with our race and about with respect and equality and different things that was destroying us. So we have gotten to a point where that's looked down upon. We feel like if we do start talking about those things, or if we do be vocal about those things, or if we make songs that's conscious or with a message, people are not going to hear that. And that's a problem. Like you'll hear people say that, like, he talking that knowledge stuff now. He used to be real, man. He started kicking that knowledge. I don't want to listen to him no more. He on that bull crap. I don't want to listen to him no more. And it's like, why when you try to inform people or give a message, or you're trying to do something positive to wake people up, they don't want to hear that. But it's like, if something bad happens, like if the cops start doing stuff to us, or some racist stuff start happening, now it's okay for us to speak up. Now it's okay to put messages in the song. Now it's okay to be an activist. Now it's okay to be a pro-black person. But why we couldn't just do that on our own? Why were we selling this to each other and killing each other and poisoning each other? It's always like it's okay. It's like, that's keeping it real. That's what it is, man. That's what we grew up on. You'll hear artists say that. That's the way we grew up. That's what we grew up. But it's like, you're not there no more in that environment. So why you still selling it to the people down there? Because these people that's listening to you, these people that watch you or follow you, whatever industry it is, they're gonna cling on to you and cling to everything you say. You gotta be careful. Yeah, you might not want to be a role model. You don't have to be an activist and speak up. But you gotta be mindful of what you're doing, because you got a heavy influence on people, especially other people, kids. You'll hear them say, hey, whatever parents let their kids do, that's them. I ain't got no control over that. But would you want somebody doing that to your kids? And a lot of them gonna say nah. A lot of them probably wouldn't even, I'm not gonna say probably, a lot of them definitely not gonna let their kids do whatever they talking about, or do whatever they watch whatever they doing. They definitely not gonna let their kids do that. But they'll sell it to other people's kids. They'll sell it to the community. They don't care, especially their own race. And that's where it's like the keeping it real goes wrong. Like, okay, yeah, you doing that, you getting more sales, you getting more advertising, you getting more money, you getting more popularity, you getting more fame, you getting more richer, you getting more wealthier. Cool, you keeping it real, right? But what happens to the people that's supporting you, that's eating all that stuff up? They getting destroyed. These young girls is growing up fast. These young boys growing up thinking that this is cool. When I think back to when I was young, and certain songs when I was a teenager, and just certain stuff I used to see before that, I'm like, damn, we really was getting messed up. Like, why was we teenagers really listening to Whisper Song and Play by David Banner, and I was getting some head and wait till you see like all that crazy. We 14 listening to these songs, like really partying, and it's like, when I think back to things, it's like, yo, why the hell was we listening to that? Like, even David Banner regrets making some of those songs, like a lot of those songs, because when you in the moment, sometimes you can't see something, or when you're doing something, you're like, yo, I'm keeping it real. This is what it is. I'm trying to make records sell. I'm doing what's popular. Girls need something to shake their behind to. This is what people want to hear. I need some party music. And there's nothing wrong with having party music or fun music, but it's as long as it's not too over the top with the raunchiness. And a lot of today's music and the music through the past years have been very, very raunchy. Where I thought my generation was bad, but I'm looking at this new generation like, man, they are fast. I thought my generation was fast, but we still, even then, we still have respect in front of adults. Even then, we knew not to do certain things. These little kids is like, they don't care whether adults see them or not. They'll be trying to talk to adults, and they little kids trying to holler, like they just don't have no place. Even these little girls, it's like, it's so at a point where it's like, it's just so far gone now. Where it's like, how do we come back from this? And when I think back on those things, and it's like, yo, we really was getting messed up because people was just, trying to keep it real or do these different things just to fit in. What other things I want to talk about? There was an artist, everybody know Prodigy. For those that don't know, he was in the group Mobb Deep with Havoc. And there's a video on YouTube that came out about over 10 years ago. You could look it up too, where he was in a car and he was talking. And this the part I wanted to connect. Okay, I'm gonna connect it after this. he was known, and Mobb Deep was known, for their raunchy lyrics, their gritty rhymes, and so was a lot of other '90s artists at that time in the '90s, the hip hop scene and the rap scene, and he was, repping for the streets, like I said, a lot of them say, but he always said something that was conscious, like when he said that verse on the I Shot Ya remix, the LL Cool J song, when he said his verse, Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body, secret society, trying to keep their eye on me. That stuck out because people never heard that before. They're like, yo, who that? Like, yo, who said that? Like, because that was like, what? What are you talking about? But he went right back into rap and gritty, so it could have went over your head very quickly. You didn't think about it too much because he didn't keep going with no other stuff. And he was speaking on that in the video where he was like, he said somebody told him, oh, you mixing the medicine in the food. You giving them just enough in their food and putting a little medicine in there just so they don't taste it. And he said for a while he was doing that, where he would just put like a little something and then go right back to the gritty rhymes, where you don't even realize you're getting it, and be something real quick. And he said he was scared to really start pushing those type of conscious lyrics in his rap because he felt like he didn't want to lose the streets. He felt like he'll lose his credit. Or in the words he was saying, P trying to teach, P trying to be on that KRS-One stuff. And that's where we got to a point in hip hop where that was starting to be looked down upon. Well, it was like, why? That we needed that. We need those teachings. There's nothing wrong with keeping a balance and making something that's, other things, but it's like we need that balance where it's like, why do we feel like that's a bad thing, or we're going to lose the streets, or we're not going to be looked at as cool? And he was doing that for a while in his career. Then he got to a point where he said he didn't even care no more about who was going to support it or not, because he's now going to shove it down your throat. All this. He don't care about mixing the medicine in the food. He's just going to shove the medicine down your throat whether you like it or not. And he's like, if you don't respect it, you just a sleepy mother effer, basically. Because he's trying to promote something to his people to uplift them. And he started realizing that later in his career, where he started doing that, pushing everything, putting everything in his lyrics after that. He didn't care, started wanting to do different talks and documentaries about consciousness and eating right and different things. But you'll be surprised by a lot of these artists that make these crazy, crazy songs and do these crazy, crazy things, male and females. They are very smart. They are very conscious. But they choose to make this because it makes money. It's popular. They know people are going to listen to it more. They know that's what sells. So yes, you're keeping it real. Yes, you're getting your fame. Yes, you're getting your money. Yes, you're getting your riches, your wealth, and everything else. But what is it doing to the youth that's hearing that? What is it doing to the people that's hearing that, taking it in and taking it serious? It's entertainment to them, but it's not really entertainment to these kids and people that's even adults. You'd be surprised how many of these artists are like that. Very conscious, very aware, but they choose to do otherwise. And I feel like in a community sense, a musical sense, just not even the music industry, any industry, Hollywood, with the certain films we make, it's like it always has to be where our culture is something negative or something violence that we have to promote for it to be popular. We look at all the popular shows like Power, The Chi, different things. It always centers around violence or drug dealing or, crazy cheating and just all type of stuff that promotes us in a bad light, where it's like, but that's what people want to see in our culture. That's what's going to sell. Like, anybody want to watch something positive. People always say, the Cosby's was a popular show, but they always be like, but that ain't realistic. Why do we think like that? Why can't there be a black family that's like that? Why is it? Why? There are black families that can be positive like that. It can be very supportive. But if that's all we feel we know, watching those crazy drama shows and drug stuff and cheating and disrespecting each other and killing, that's what we always going to feel like is normal to us. That's what we're going to see. There's many brothers in the hood that's smart, but they do the wrong things, not just because of the environment, because they're trying to fit in as well. They feel like if they be smart or let that display or do something different, people ain't gonna respect them, people gonna laugh at them, they gonna clown them. We have a habit of that in my community, in my race. If a kid is smart, or the kid is doing the right thing in the family, oh, he's the weirdo, he's a square. But if the bad kids always got all the attention and love, yo, this little mother effer is bad, little bad mother effer, yo, what's up, man? I'm gonna take this little bad mother effer around under my wing and stuff and show him around. Why is that? But would you show the square other family member that's smart and trying to do the right thing? Nah, that's not cool to them. You feel like you can't relate to them, and you probably could relate to that person more than the bad kid. But that's the stuff we're talking about. When keeping it real goes wrong, we keep encouraging those things, and then we wonder why the bad kid turns out a certain way, or why he start wilding. Because yo, that's funny, yo, this little dude is bad. You see it on Instagram, people posting little bad kids cursing, twerking, beefing with other little kids, rapping about money and girls saying, and these little kids is not even older than 10, and you got adults pushing that, because that has become normal in my race, my culture. That's keeping it real. Yo, he little dude is wild. But they won't push the little kid that's doing that positive thing the same way. And that gotta stop, man. It's not helping us. It's holding us back, and we just not getting any better with none of that stuff. And it's just putting us in a deeper grave. So it doesn't matter the level, whether it's industry level, community level, family level. When it comes to my community, my culture, my race, the keeping it real thing has to be defined. Who are you keeping it real for? The streets? Your peoples? Your brothers on the block? Who? Because at the end of the day, a lot of that stuff ain't real. The stuff that's real is you being a decent person. Forget a decent person, a great person. Not perfect, a great person. Great personality, manners, respect, morals, values, principles. Trying to do the right thing as much as you can. Not trying to screw nobody over. Supporting others. Pushing others to be better. Pushing yourself to be better, to be an example. You don't have to be a leader about when it comes to speaking out, but you can be a leader in your actions. Because somebody's always watching you. You know, when I be working out outside and stuff, out there in the park, and there be little kids there, you know how many times little kids be watching me? I see it out the corner of my eye, they be watching me. I'm not speaking to them, I'm just doing my work, but they be watching me hard. Sometimes they even come close to be near me, because little kids are impressionable. They get excited. That's how much influence we have over little kids and just the youth. They come near me, they watch, they're excited, they want to know why. Sometimes they doing that because they want to be a part of it. And that's me doing my actions. Who knows? They might get older, and sooner in life they might start doing that. Start exercising, whatever it is, because they seen it. It fascinated them. They want to know what was that. So we got to be mindful of these things. So when it comes to keeping it real, we got to define it and really understand and define what is that, and who are we keeping it real for? Because half of the times the things that we think is real isn't real at all. It's actually an illusion. And until we realize that, we're gonna forever be keeping it real with this fake facade and this fake imagery and this fake standard that we think we have to abide by in order to keep people by our side and supportive. When really those are the things that are killing us and bringing us down more. So, no, when keeping it real goes wrong, So you have to define what is real. So peace, blessings, stay masked up, keep doing your thing, stay focused, and to the next topic. Peace.
Break it down. Break it down, roll it, light it, spark it, ignite it, but don't fight it. Break it down, roll it, light it, spark it, ignite it, but don't fight it. Now I lay low on weekends, diving off the deep end. I don't have no friends, I can't lie or pretend. Late nights I'm wishing, feel